Hi guys, today I'm going to be using my cards to see if I can see a possible recovery of Harmony Montgomery, who sadly was killed by her father in, I think, 2019. We have a picture I'm going to share of Harmony, a beautiful little girl with some special needs. So what I want to do is see if I can get any cards coming up that show her being found. Um, Please forgive any background noise, my wound back, dogs, cats, cars, kids. Okay, so let's take a look and see what we get. All right. Minute. So I'm going to start off with the investigative deck by Trish James. And this came from England. I don't know if you can get it here so easily in the United States, but I did get it off Etsy, and I really like this deck. And I've spent a good amount of money on different decks for like true crime to get better context and stuff. And I think this deck is by far one of the ones that I like the best. Let's just see how this goes with Harmony. Is there a recovery of Harmony Montgomery in the future? I just wanted to see, will they locate her in the future? Let's see what we get. I have to say I'm concerned. I am getting something was seen, and we have a figure of a woman looking at what looks to be like a figure of a child and looks like a dog, maybe little girl and dog. Yep. Or it could even be a young woman, but it's kind of hard to tell the way they painted it. So I read in pairs, so let's just see if I get any hits here. So I get uh, the moon. Now, I feel something with this. No, hidden, unclear. Trying to see how they've written this moon. No, hidden, unclear. Well, this something was seen. It looks like, let me just look at the background here of this one. This looks very rural, this background, a country road. Like a field. There's a field behind the figure with the dog. Something was seen. Is this meaning that between something was seen and something that was unclear or hidden, which to me is, harmony? Does this mean something one day we'll be seeing that was hidden? I'm not 100 on that. Oh my God, you guys, please find me. Oh. And I'm getting the card of running out of time. Oh my. Hangman, delays or sacrifice. Well, her life definitely was lost in sacrifice to his anger and taking it out on her. This is also a delay potentially in finding her. And I hope that's all it is. Body is hidden. Yeah, no kidding. They haven't been able to find her. Okay, I'm just gonna, because this is so far kind of making sense, I'm gonna just continue to pull cards. Here I'm getting Dark Ritual with the Magician. To me, this is the act that her father, I think, engaged in with regard to leaving her wherever he did. And there's something possibly like a routine, not involved, unaware. I get a woman here, a queen, that says not involved, unaware. This makes me feel like I don't think the mother knows where he placed her. The magician might be his secretiveness, his manipulation. Oh my gosh. I can't believe it's domestic violence abuse. Definitely was the case. Family connection. Yeah, definitely the father was the one that did it. And there was, you know, small family. Now she has a brother out of the picture and innocent. To me, this is harmony. Taking her out of the picture was just, there was no reason to do that. She was innocent. So she wants to be found, and it looks like there's some time that could be running out. Um, I feel like there's a possibility yet, but that does make me feel like they're letting us know that there's something that might make that more difficult unless it's done within a relatively near future, window of time. We don't know what that could be. It could be like weather could change and something could shift or what have you. But let me just keep putting some questions to it and see if I can get some input, some ideas here about what kind of environment. Is she close um, to home, to her locale? Is she nearby her community? Or did he take her farther out? Where is her body hidden? Where did Adam hide her? Where did Adam hide Harmony? Check the timing. So this is, to me, look at the timelines. You might be able to tell like where he was, certain places, that they might have where his cell phone pinged or whatever, where they knew he was certain days. That's just a guess that's coming in with that. And there is a connection. So I feel that if they look at the cell phone data, and I'm sure that they've done this, but maybe through a different lens, so to speak, through a different angle of some kind, there is some kind of connection through, I think, his timeline, where he was at certain times. And they might be able to get an idea of maybe his choice of orbit locally. That is a comfortable, familiar area that he might utilize to do something like leave her a certain place. I get the authority with the Hierophant, and I get the High Priestess, hidden knowledge. I do feel like this could be the police force using fears, using sensitives on this case to try and pinpoint. But I feel like we're being given a clue here that if we can, and I haven't really honestly looked at this case. So now I'm going to have to go and look and study it even deeper. especially the timeline as to where this man was at certain points, because that might give them a general idea. I'm sure it's something they've already considered, but maybe they just need to go in again, you know? Sometimes bodies can also get moved, and he may have moved her. It wouldn't surprise me. Um, and definitely trying to hide her from the authorities. Doesn't look like he's real keen to share that information. It looks like there's a deliberate, you know, I'm not going to give the authorities the truth, the details. I'm going to keep it a secret. We get the tower, chaos, or in a building. That's interesting. Well, he certainly brought chaos. And here's the star, hidden clues, breakthrough. This gives me hope, literally. And anytime I see the star card, especially where someone's missing and they're looking at a recovery, this is usually a pretty positive sign that maybe somehow, some way, it will happen, or it could happen yet. Um, but there could be. I wonder, is there a building that could be demolished, or there could be ground that's prepared for building or something, and she's found, or something like that? Makes me wonder because it feels like, is this a building coming down, going up? Um, and that somehow the area that she's in would be disturbed and she'd be located. World, end of situation, or buried. I think she's buried. That also goes with the hidden. Maybe around a building or a ruin of a building. Did not go to plan. That even makes me more think that this could be a situation where if it didn't go to plan initially, he may have come back and tried to fix it. I'm getting wrong direction. No. And body is hidden again. That is so weird. Stranger, unknown to me. That well, let me see what comes up. Ransom or note left. Nah. I think we kind of reached our point of what it's going to give me that makes sense. So it's definitely picking up, I think, on her situation of being hidden. Let me just try another deck on the recovery and see if I can pull any more feeling from it. I'm going to use my handy dandy albino or albino weight deck. I like this one because so far my crazy shuffling hasn't caused the cards to peel at the side or get torn with tears and stuff. So let's see. Harmony Montgomery. Will she be located and recovered? Will Harmony Montgomery be located? Will her remains in the future be located and identified? I get the Nine of Pentacles. This to me would be a yes card. And the Page of Wands. I do feel like someone that has special skills that they've built up, knows how to look for people, or has participated maybe even in the past. Maybe they just have a knack for it. But I think somebody that's like this Nine of Pentacles here is somebody that's very adept and good at reading the environment, is in touch with the environment. I feel like someone that could go and be kind of a little bit of a specialist, even if it's just like a hobby or whatever. But There's something special there about that. I do get justice in the Lovers. So, the parents and the law trying to hold them, get them to probably say where she is, or get her to maybe get him to confess, or wherever she's been placed. Now, from the other reading, I don't think that the mother maybe knew of exactly where she is, but definitely see the law with making choices here too. There might be an agreement. I see the Queen of Cups and the Empress. Is this the mother? There might be someone who would say to, I think, authorities maybe where she might be. And with the Empress, it would be in nature. So it could be a natural setting. It could be a ruin, or an old building, near an old building, or an old house, that's boarded up or something, that's with the cards before. It could still, like, I could really see it in a more rural setting with possibly with that tower card prior, a building that has fallen apart or may have once stood there. That may or may not be part of the picture. But I do believe that she's probably been concealed by burial from the cards. And like I said, possibly there could be a building nearby. We did get the word building, and we've got Empress. So we're getting more of a natural setting. Now, the Queen of Cups with the Empress is very empathetic. And it makes me wonder if there's a woman working on this case that is really trying to, I don't know, if not find her in the environment, then it could be try to get something out of the mother. There's an approach with the Knight of Cups and the Four of Swords. I think they could find her burial location. This to me feels like this could be them finding that location and then reburying the reburial of her so that she could be at peace. Because this is the soul of peace. This is us at rest and deep healing. And this deep healing, I feel like there's someone that offers something, and it brings healing. So I do feel like she could be found. I don't think that the father with the Emperor and the Moon is going to come forward, though. I think he's going to try to remain, uh, keep it hidden. He's not going to want to share anything. Very dark side. Their father's taken over by the dark side of himself. The King of Swords. Yeah, to me, this is the law, and this is a feeling of that somebody's just has no remorse. No, they really don't feel anything at all. They're indifferent. And I think that's the father. And I have a feeling that this is what law enforcement detectives notice about him. Now, I haven't, like I said, I get to where I read so many of these cases, I have to kind of take a step back when I see more of them come down the line, because it can be overwhelming. I'm very sensitive. And I have not kind of just really jumped into her case. So a lot of these details of how the father's behavior is, and so on and so forth, I don't really know from watching anything. I'm just using these cards. And it's not surprising. People that do this kind of thing usually are very indifferent. I don't really see any feeling. They're numb. And I do get the Sun and the Magician. So I think somehow, some way, I think she will be located. It will get figured out. Here's the sun is exposure. It's also the child, and we get the Three of Cups and the Hermit. I think she is further out, though. I do think that she's taken out from uh, busy locations of where to where there's less people with the Hermit. So again, a more natural setting in all likelihood, likely some sort of concealment through burial, according to the cards. And her spirit wants to be found. And I do feel with these cards, and I'm glad that I do, because I always am kind of anxious that I'm going to get the one that's like, no, they're not going to be found. And I know that some people aren't, but I want, if there's a chance, to try and give them that, if I can, to try and pull that out. So if I see it in the cards, I'm not going to tell you something I don't see. That will not happen. So I'm going to leave it right there. I do think that she will end up being found, but there's a delay. It does show that. And there's a mess in order, to get there to that point that she would be recovered. And I don't think the parents, definitely not the father anyway, definitely not going to budge on it. But I do think she could end up being recovered. And I'm going to really put my prayers toward that, because I got the sun and I got a lot of really positive cards that show after a delay, exposure, what to me looks like, frankly, an area where she's been buried, and that she will have some form of a reburial. So anyway, if you appreciate readings like this, though, it is a very sad situation. And you appreciate the effort to read on this, I would appreciate it if you gave me a thumbs up, because it really is hard. It hurts my feelings as a mother to read this, that children go through this. And anyway, you get the idea. Thank you so much for subscribing. And if you haven't, make sure you are subscribed, because, sometimes YouTube can do its little thing where you're unsubscribed. So anyway, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.